About PTSD publicly, people started asking me all kinds of questions. And I didn't admit that I had PTSD until about a year and a half ago, which is completely crazy. Anybody that goes to war everyone should have PTSD. Almost everyone does. Right? It's a perfectly normal reaction to be dramatically altered by experiencing grotesque violence and mass wholesale slaughter. It's the people who aren't affected by it that need the real serious help. Right? I mean, we all need serious help, but they got issues far beyond PTSD. So, I thought for a while about how do I explain this to people who haven't been to war? How do I talk about this thing? Because I keep getting these questions now that I'm willing to admit that I have it, willing to talk about it. And joining the military is signing a sacred contract with your soul, right? And if you don't like the word sacred, just pretend I'm not saying it and replace it with intent, because they're one and the same. Something sacred has very focused intent behind it. That's what makes it sacred, right? So joining the military has a very specific intent. That contract is a sacred contract, a contract full of intention. The intention to protect. This is a sacred contract that has been signed with the soul since before war existed. Us humans have had to protect each other for a long time. Long before we had militaries. So, there is another contract similar to this sacred contract. It's called marriage. When you get married, you sign a piece of paper, just like you do when you join the military, and you speak intentful words to another person, and they speak them back. That's where the soul gets involved. And that's the sacred contract. It's the contract you sign with your soul to this person, right? So, if you get into one of these relationships and it gets a little rocky, and you might find yourself experiencing some level of abuse with this person, whether emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, you want to try to get away from it. You want to try to get a divorce, You don't want to be around this person anymore. It's really hard. Well, you get a divorce and you don't have to be around them anymore. I mean, most people don't get divorces and continue to live in the house with each other, or one moves out and lives next door to the person. It's to get a space. Let's get some space between each other, right? What happens in the military is it's just like that relationship. You develop this. It's like a family unit. Like your sergeant is your big brother, and your platoon sergeant is your uncle, and the first sergeant is the grandpa, and it's built like a family, and you treat each other like a family. So when you get out, it's like leaving your family behind. And we often experience many levels of abuse in the military: mental, physical, spiritual, heavy emotional. So a lot of people want to get out because they feel like they've experienced some level of abuse to some degree, and they don't want to be a part of it anymore. They want to end the contract. Where it's a little different than your average marriage is when you break this contract and you get out, it's not like you get away from it. Every time I ride my bicycle down the street, I've got to see Old Glory flapping in the wind somewhere. I can't go in the gas station and get a bottle of water without seeing one next to the cash register. Heck, there's even bottles of water with flags on them. It's like every time I leave the house, I gotta look my spouse in the eyes. And I'm reminded of this very painful relationship, and I can't get away from it. So that's one of the best ways that I could kind of describe what's going on internally for a lot of veterans who are trying to navigate this world when they come back. They were constantly triggered and reminded about what happened while they're in the military. Everywhere. It's like not being able to leave the relationship. So this is the title track on the album that we put together, Soldier's Heart. And this is a song about having your heart broken. Now I'm just a farmer from Arkansas. There's a lot of things I don't understand. Like why we send farmers to kill farmers in Afghanistan. Now I did what I was told for my love of this land. And I come home a shattered man with blood on my hand. And now I can't have a relationship. I said I can't hold down a job. Oh, well, some may say I'm broken. Oh, I call it a soldier's heart. Because every time I go outside, I gotta look her in the eyes. Oh, and on, but she broke my heart, and it turned around and lied. Oh, I said red, oh, white and blue, I trust in you, and you never even told me why. Now it's the summer of 2002. I just got off the Pakistan border to get out of the heat. And my sergeant, he handed me some order, and he told me to read. Well, it called for the mobilization of 500,000 soldiers, sailors, and marines for impending invasion of Iraq for the coming spring. Well, I got home a few months later, and I heard the drums. I said I heard the drums of war. And they had y'all dancing all around and asking for more. Well, the soldier's heart couldn't take it. I said the soldier's heart couldn't take it anymore. And now I can't have a relationship. I said I can't hold down a job. Oh, and some may say I'm broken. Oh, I call it a soldier's heart. Because every time I go outside, I gotta look her in the eyes. Oh, and on, but she broke my heart, and it turned around and lied. Oh, I said red, oh, white and blue, I trusted in you, and you never even told me why. I said every time I go outside, I gotta look her in the eyes. Oh, and on, then she broke my heart, and it turned around and lied. Oh, I said I trusted in you, and you never even told me why.